Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's show. Thank you for joining us. I am recording this a few days early, but I will be in the chat right this second. So if you are seeing me typing, that is me, and I'm at the computer. So thanks for tuning in. I think this is going to be a really good show. I've got a guest, a wonderful singer-songwriter who I don't know, somebody I heard on Spotify, and I asked her to come on the show, and we will be chatting about her music. Her name is Emily Rockarts, and she's going to come on the show a bit later. And before that, I thought I could play you some new stuff that I'm working on, and also play you Storing Gold, which comes out this Friday. And the link for Storing Gold will be in the description of this video. And if you like the show and you like the stuff I'm doing, please do consider buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Chris Willow. Also, the link will be in this video description. Thank you so much for everyone who's been tuning in so far. It really means a lot. So here we go. I'm going to just play some stuff that's... I'm working on this new idea at the moment. It's quite wordy, and I've just got one big chunk of words of lyrics that I'm playing with. So there are a few words here and there that might change, and I'm just going to play a little bit of it for you, and I hope you dig it. And if you do like it, I think it's going to be developed into something maybe for the next album. And yeah, here it goes. I don't have a name for it at the moment. I think it's called... I've got here written down new song. I think it's called Waiting for the Master to Breathe In. So let's see what happens. Hello. 1, 2. What I'd always known before I'd let it go and drifted out to sea to find an island of my own, made on holy ground, with a lonely spoke about a lonely someone trying to save his soul again. By retracing where he'd been, through caves and caverns dim and dark enough to hide the ugly face of sin, then whispered on the wind the long forgotten hymn of waiting on the master, waiting on the master to breathe in. Thank you very much. So that is, as of yet, untitled. And I think it's called Waiting for the Master to Breathe In, or Waiting on the Master to Breathe In. I got the, sorry about this here. I got the lyrics a little bit wrong. I think it's, where the naked spoke about a lonely someone trying to find his soul again. But yeah, so I like where that's going, and I think I might play it on electric guitar as well. But that's what I'm working on for the next batch of songs. And next I'm going to play you Storing Gold, which is out this Friday. So I hope you enjoy that. 1 second. That's a classic when you try and turn the guitar amp off and you turn the lights off. That's what happens when you deal with professionals. You know? Show, so your default. So my let me just check everything's working. I didn't mess something up. Yep, everything is working and I didn't mess something up. Cool. So I'm back, and here is Storing Gold for all of you. This is a classic. I promise you, it's more scary doing these than the real live shows, because there's no one to blame when you turn your own lights off. So this song is a song from the album, and it's kind of about hoarding, but kind of not so much hoarding of money or goods or anything, but more hoarding of emotional things, or hoarding of ideas, hoarding of potential, hoarding of, I'll release that song one day when the time is perfect, or I'll do that gig one day when everything is perfect, and just kind of letting that go and just going for it in the moment, and there is no perfect time. So here we go. Storing Gold. Why do I bear the shame of a leper cast away for the benefit of those allowed to stay? Maybe I'm holding on for a way out, but no one is to blame for the wait now. And it's been the longest time, I've made sure of that. And it's not because you held me down or blocked my tracks. I was hiding, too scared to be seen, veiled by the currencies of my dreams. Truth be told, that all of us storing gold are getting old quickly. Release the hold, Lord, help me let this go and brave the road sinking. For me, it's not so much a case of material wealth. I'm holding on to other things, too many to count. So my plans and my hopes stay bound in chains and ropes, waiting for the day with nothing threatening on the coasts. And I'm worried of the risks in exposing myself, what will happen if I end up like the clouds, scattered in the sky, moved by the winds of change, and broken into pieces, falling to the earth as rain. Truth be told, that all of us storing gold are getting old quickly. Help me let this go and brave the road sinking, sinking. Truth be told, that all of us storing gold are getting old quickly. Release the hold, Lord help me let this go and brave the road sinking, sinking, sinking. Thank you very much. That was Storing Gold, and it's out this Friday. So please check that out. There'll be a link in the description of this video. And now, the main event. We have Emily Rockarts coming on the show. And I discovered a song of hers on Spotify, which I really liked. And then asked her, would she be willing to come on? And she said yes. So I think she is here and good to go. So let me just see if she, yeah, here she is. 1 second, Emily. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Wait. Sorry, no headphones. Can I hear you?
Yes, you can.
I can hear you. How can you tell me I can hear you? Okay, here we go. Here's Emily, everybody. Yay. So I don't know you. I only know a song of yours and some of your other songs, but one song in particular that I really liked on Spotify. And I just reached out, said, do you want to come on the show? And you very kindly said yes. So thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, no problem. I really appreciate you coming on. And so tell us a little bit about yourself. Who are you? What do you do?
My name is Emily Rockarts. I'm a musician based in Montreal, Canada. I put my first record out, Little Flower, in April. Kind of poor timing. But everything's gone well, all things considered. And yeah, and just happy to be here. Happy that you found my song from across the world.
Yeah, it's great to have you. I think the thing is that the reason I started the show, as I told you briefly when we spoke yesterday, is that was, you know, the primary reason is share my music, and then the secondary reason, which is basically equally important, is that I feel that nowadays, because we all kind of produce music back home, like in our houses, and we're becoming more and more isolated as musicians. And not speaking for you, but speaking for myself, I'm quite comfortable in my pajamas making music, you know, just writing songs without, I mean, that's kind of what that song is about, you know, not going out there, you know, and just kind of keeping things in the comfort zone. And I just thought, as a reason for the show, I thought it'd be amazing if I could meet people in the same way that you do when you go and play a gig and you don't know who's on the lineup.
Hmm.
And I had the idea for the show, but before this pandemic, but I kept procrastinating it, and then when everything hit and there were no gigs, there was really no excuse. So it's great to have you and to meet you. And I just
Likewise.
want to know more about, like, what's it like there? I mean, what's the scene like? Do you play in various bands? Do you just do your own stuff? Are there good gigs in
Um,
Montreal?
I I originally grew up kind of in the Toronto area, and went to school there and was kind of part of the music scene there in Toronto for I guess like 8 years.
Wow.
Um, and then moved to Montreal 2 years ago and kind of went straight into album mode when I moved here. So I definitely was not as active in the Montreal scene as I was in the Toronto scene, just for I guess shifting of priorities.
Yeah.
But the Montreal scene is like very cool. I think there's like um, just a little bit more, I guess, like uh, comfort to try new things and like strange things and things that maybe aren't like, um, I guess, kind of like speaking to your song, like stepping out of your comfort zone. Like, we're going to try this like weird, cool thing. And like, I guess it's like, I don't know if it's tied to like the affordability of the city, but it's like, we don't need to make money. We're just making art. Like,
That's cool.
um,
Yeah.
so it's interesting like comparing the cities, and like they're both like excellent but totally different scenes. um and well, we'll see what happens kind of when we're on the other side of this, like how many venues are left. But it's also interesting like the different scenes at different spots in the cities. um but yeah, it's great. I definitely miss the live music community, like seeing people at shows, going to shows. um yeah, but how is it where you are?
Yeah, well, it's I didn't know that I liked gigging, really. You know what I mean? Like, because it's such a uncomfortable thing to do, to leave your house and to go and
Yeah.
stand there in front of people and bare your soul. But um, I have really missed it, and I think I've missed it for those little conversations you have with people. Those little, um, just by osmosis, feeling like you're learning music and being a part of a greater thing, rather than just being this little isolated silo. But London is, I don't know what's going to be left. I mean, maybe it'll be amazing, maybe it won't be. I mean, so it's going to change. There's like a mass exodus happening because London is so unbelievably expensive to live in, that if you don't have the gigs going, and maybe it'll be another year, maybe it'll be another year and a half. Like, that's, I think, very realistic to think it could be a year and a half from now before gigs are regular enough to pay rent with. So yeah, there's a lot of change, and who knows? Maybe property prices will drop, and then people come in. But
Yeah,
London is not an affordable place to live.
it's interesting because like something similar has been happening in Toronto, but then because of that, there have been these kind of like smaller communities popping up in these tiny towns that normally would not have anything
Yeah.
happening. So it'll also be cool to see if it's like, oh, the new hotspot of music is far away from
Yeah.
any city and like
Some town
a
that's been waiting for years
destination.
for something to happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Do you know what I think? I think that this is not at all to celebrate the pandemic and all this destruction, of course, but not but and there is something about creativity itself, that it is like a weed that will grow through the cement. It will find its way if we are prepared
yeah,
to ride it out and to change, and to, like, we will, don't be stopped making music, even if the form changes, I think, is the way we got to do
yeah.
it. But what about with Montreal? The way, this is like, I've never been to Canada, and this is I don't know where I get this knowledge, but I guess maybe the only thing I associate, not the only thing, the main thing I associate with Montreal's jazz. Is that because, there's the big festival there?
There's the big festival. The one of the universities, well, a few of the universities in town have jazz programs in their school, so I think it promotes a lot of jazz in the community. But I think it's kind of like mixed bag. You can kind of find anything. Because there's also like there's just kind of every type of art. There's like there's a big circus scene here.
That's great, yeah.
So, and like in the summer when it is nice, there's festivals of all kinds, like every weekend. So
sounds like a melting pot for stuff.
Yeah.
Which I think it may be more exciting, because you feel liberated to do whatever you want to do.
I don't know. And it seems like the audiences are also like very receptive of it, of like trying new things and like.
That's great.
Just being open.
I'll have to come try it sometime. Because,
You're welcome anytime.
I'd love to come. For sure. And what about, like, what has caused you to do an album? Because I've also done an album this year. I did 2 during lockdown, which is kind of strange.
Wow.
And looking through Spotify, like, so is everyone else. It's been like the album has come back during this season of no gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Was your album planned before this?
Yes. My album was kind of like a 2-year process in the making, I guess. Just, like I went to music school and like put out an EP after I graduated and started doing little tours, and then the little tours got bigger and my catalog of songs got bigger until eventually it was like, okay, I guess I have enough material. Like I'm not prolific in any sense. Like I kind of just wait for a song to come out. And then kind of once I had enough to make an album, I was very lucky to get some funding and just kind of went from there.
Well, it's really like well produced and conceived, and I think the artwork is stunning.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just going to show it quickly for everyone here. This is it's like embroidery or something like that. Is it done on? I'm showing the artwork currently now. It's
kind of a similar story to our meeting. Like one of my friends runs an art blog, and she posts like artists kind of from all over. And she posted this artist. I don't remember if it was this particular piece, but this embroidery artist, Michelle Kingdom, does these like stunning pieces. And when I saw this piece, I was like, that's the album cover. That's what it just like, it spoke to me, and it like is such a beautiful piece. And then it was kind of the same thing. I reached out to her and was like, I love this piece. Would I be able to use it for my artwork?
So it was pre-made. But it's amazing because it meshes with the album and the concept so well that it was like it was made for it,
It just spoke to me immediately, and I think it does like reflect a lot of the themes of the album. And it was interesting, like I worked with a graphic designer to like do all of the colors and fonts and everything, and we went back and forth on the cover, and he was like, what if we just left it like as it is, and we'll put all the information on the back? And I was like, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's just leave it. It's beautiful as it is. So I'm so thankful that she let us use it for the artwork.
It's stunning. And I think I don't think I've ever seen that sort of texture in in a cover, like a woven, embroidered. It's the first time I've ever seen it. It's amazing. And how many songs are there? Are there 10 songs on the album? 11?
There are 9 songs.
9 songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to play one. Are you ready for me to play a song?
Yeah.
Should I play it and then you tell me about it? Or do you want to tell me a little bit about it? It's called Golden Hour.
And let's just play it and we'll talk after.
Here we go. You might not, I don't think you're going to hear this play, but you know it. So 1 second here. Here we go. This is Emily Rockarts Golden Hour.
You forgot your keys, going out the door. You didn't come back, you didn't know. The little things I can't ignore, hiding in boxes in different drawers. At the golden hour, when the sun hasn't set, the light gets softer and I won't forget. I wish for a moment that you could stay before the light fades and the sun goes away. Losing hold of mind and grace, I repeat and repeat again. I am slowly being erased. Don't know my name, but you know my face. At the golden hour, when the sun hasn't set, the light gets softer and I won't forget. I wish for a moment that you could stay before the light fades and the sun goes away. Won't you hold me now like you held me then? When the light was new, I'll say it again. Won't you hold me now like you held me then? When the light was new, I'll say it again. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
Wow. It's so good.
Thank you.
It really moves
so
me.
much.
Really moves me.
Thank you. I think that's maybe the song that I'm the most proud of on the album.
Yeah, I love it, and it's a very artistic, not listening to the voices of blogs and commerce people to put that last. You know, like everyone's like, put the best ones first or whatever. But it's like, that is such an, I'm not saying the others aren't good, of course, but that's such an ending song. You know what I mean? There's no coming back from that. You know, there's no.
That's kind of how I felt too. We were trying to figure out, like, the order of the songs, and it's like, well, it's kind of like a bit of a, well, it's a sad song, and it's like, maybe we should put it second last so that we can end on something bigger. It was like, no, I want it to be the last song.
There's no coming back. That's an end. That's like if that was first, then like, I don't know if you ever had this with some bands or whatever, where the first song is too good for the rest of the album. So you don't listen. You just keep going over, back. But that's stunning, and I just love the textures, and it's like a harp-esque sort of things, and then the strings. But and the one of the albums I did, I don't know if you've heard it, but I'll send it to you. Was under the name Lava Kiss this last year, and the Mellotron flute thing was a big part of that. And is that what this is?
That
that second verse.
When I was like starting to think about like what the album would sound like, I just started to think about like sounds that I really liked in other albums. And so I'm a big fan of Feist. And in 2017, she put out her latest record, Pleasure. And the opening track has these like beautiful mellotron flutes. And I was just like, oh, I love that sound. And so I found a patch to put on my keyboard, and it was kind of like the inspiration for the whole song. It was like, once I had that sound on my keyboard, I was just kind of playing around. And then this song came out, I think, inspired by that sound to start.
It's one of those sounds. It's an overwhelmingly nostalgic or something. About,
yeah. I sent my producer just kind of like a crappy iPhone demo, and it was just the mellotron and me singing. And he was like, well, let's just put that on the album. I was like, no, Frankie, we can't do that. We have to like do something with it. And then I was so lucky to work with like my producer, Frankie Russo, and then his kind of main collaborator, Dominic Mecchi. They did like that. It's me and my keyboard playing those mellotrons, but then the lush strings and all of the twinkles and sparkles is all Frankie and Dom. And it's cool collaborating with people in that way, where you like, you have something that exists in one way, but then I guess it's kind of like the benefit of sharing your ideas and seeing what they can become. And I'm really happy with how it
might be one of the few times or maybe that you think, because I don't know what your experience is like, but often you have something in your head, and then like making the recording of it is about making it as close to that as possible, but it's always like, oh well, I guess that's close enough. But this, I can't imagine a better version of this, if you know what I mean. Like I just feel like it really aligned with its potential,
Yeah, I felt that as well, and it's like that's kind of the thing that I do love about making records with people, that it's like, okay, I have this idea in my head and like I like how it sounds, but then like it's crazy to hear like the first version of a song versus the last version of a song, like once you've got all these other minds and like talents involved, that it's like it's something new, and like both versions have their merit, but it's cool that now both exist.
It's great. It's I'm in general, I'm a big fan of the last song on albums. There's just something so final and epic about them. But can we chat a bit about the lyrics? I'm just hearing it now. I mean, I don't have them in front of me, but there's something about that verse 2, losing hold of mind and grace. I love that line, stunning line. And then, is it you don't know my name, but you know my face, or something like that? And if it's not too personal, or whatever, would you go into some of what that's about?
Well, my family has, had people in our lives that have been kind of taken by Alzheimer's, and it's just like such a terribly heartbreaking disease that like you have these people in your life that you love and they're there but they're not there, and it's sad for the person that it's happening to, but it's also incredibly heartbreaking for the people that are around that person, that like you're having to watch a person that you love kind of slip away. And like it's just that, I guess, the idea of like remembering when it was like so good, and like, and I guess that's why it hurts so much, because you've got these kind of opposite sides of like, okay, I don't remember anymore, and it's like, oh, but I do, and I do remember how special like a person was and a relationship was. It's just, yeah, it's very sad. And I think, you know, something that unfortunately a lot of people have had to deal with. But it was one of those, as a songwriter, you know, I guess I'm sure you've had these moments too, like you count yourself lucky sometimes when a song just kind of comes out of you, and it's like, okay, like you almost feel like you didn't have anything to do with it. For me, that was this song in a lot of ways.
Wow, it's incredible, and I think you can tell it comes from a place of truth. That's what it sounds like. It sounds true. It's like you don't, even if you don't know. Before I even knew that specific nature of it, you still know it's true. You know, it's and I think that, speaking for myself, I mean, that's all I'm after. I mean, I just get in my own way. Like, you know, that's. I think when I write a song that's better than the others, it's just that I just happen to be to dictate it. So, you know, it just comes from there. And I was like, oh, thanks. And, you know, like every time I'm sure I'll watch this interview or this chat and I'll be like, I shouldn't have said that. You know, why did you say you did 2 albums? It sounds so big-headed and lame. I didn't mean it like that.
No.
But, you know, like I analyze and like, oh, just get out your own way, you know. And sometimes I find when those songs are so true that they quiet your own soul. It's almost like I just felt like, okay, I just got to write this down now, because it's not about me. It's like some of those songs are so big that it's almost like a privilege to just be there to receive it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, and it's like I think like the idea behind your song, it's like when you're hiding these things and kind of keeping them safe, it's like there's I guess kind of sometimes that little push where it's like I want to share this.
Your song has got me on the edge. The tear ducts already. But yeah, it's well, thank you for putting this song out there. It's have you had much response from others with this song?
Not directly. It seems to be like doing well on like streaming sites. It is kind of always interesting to me that, like, you know, when people listen to a full album, if they listen to a full album, like there's always that like little nervousness of like, will you make it to the last song? But it's sounding like people are making it to the last song, and it's being listened to, which is always a nice feeling.
Amazing. It's amazing. I hope it gets on some playlists, and however these things work, I don't know, but I hope it does well. And what is next? Like, do you have another album? Are you doing, obviously not gigging? Are you doing videos? Are you just taking a break? Or
I think I'm just going to be taking a break for a while. Like, I know that songwriting will come back eventually, but I'm also not forcing it to come back right now. You know, like we put the album out in April, but then it's like all of our I had an album release tour planned, which was then canceled and rescheduled to October, November, which was then canceled. And I think just like letting it be for now is my plan. And but I know the songs will keep coming, but I'm also in no rush for now. So I think I'm just gonna take the break.
Well, it's enough to chew on, that album, for a while, you know. I'll listen to the song a lot, I'm sure. I'll get the streams buzzing single-handedly. But no, I'm sure lots of people listening. It's amazing. And for all those watching the show, I will be putting the link to the song in the description of this video. And yeah, I don't want to keep you too long, so we can leave it
songwriter to songwriter. I know you've got this song coming out, and I'm whenever I hear somebody that is like very prolific, I'm like super curious, like how do you do it? Because it's like very difficult for me. So like for your songs, like do you start with the idea, or like a lyrical idea, or the musical idea? There was one lyric in the song that you played, veiled by the currencies of my dreams, that like really popped out to me.
Do you know what? Like, I knew that you would ask about that line. I knew it, and also I thought today, what does that mean? Like, I hope she doesn't ask about this line. It's one of those I don't consider. Okay, so we're chatting more, as long as I'm not keeping you.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself to be too much of an abstract writer. Like, I don't put, like, I'm always writing about something. And then, like your song, you were writing about something. And even me as the listener, I didn't know what it was until you told me now. I still knew it was about something, you know. So so that's the kind of writing that I do. And veiled by the currencies of my dreams. What's a? I'm gonna get these lyrics up now.
You don't necessarily have to tell me.
I just messed that up. Yeah, I just put a window over your face. But I think it's about. I was so 100% crystal clear on what this was when I wrote it, and it's changed. But I think it's about valuing the things that I think this dream of mine trades in. So kind of like the idea of, I have to do that because that's part of my dream. You know, I have to suffer in this way. I have to appear like this. It's almost like I have to have this could be a small thing like a, struggling artist status, or I have to be seen to be doing this, or I have to at least be able to justify this. Like, these are the currencies that I would trade in to show, to buy security or whatever it is. So the dream, the currencies of the dream should be playing guitar, writing songs, or whatever, but it's became a kind of sick, sort of twisted, like, I'm sure like many people go through phases of this. It's not like one, but I went through a particular phase where I was so focused on the dream that it broke me to the point where I think that, like, I was serving masters, and the true me got veiled, in the currencies of the dream, and the true me got veiled in the kind of how many followers, how many this, how many streams, how many this, and I think I was hiding, too scared to be seen, veiled by the currencies of my dreams. So it's all about this putting up these barriers, and those barriers may seem like wealth. It's kind of what people do on social media now, where they appear to have a good time, but that's a veil. They living the dream, not really. Not really. So that's what that line's about.
Yeah, just that phrase, currency of dreams. It's like you can it just makes you think about kind of like, okay, like what value do my dreams have, like, and in, I guess, like in which market is this currency
it's so
viable?
It's so far removed from the 12-year-old inside that has those dreams. And I think that's what this song is about, like, where it's like you have this starting point, which is pure and wonderful, and then it gets corrupted and veiled in these currencies of the world, or what people think of you, and what this and that, and that cripples you. When you're young and you're dancing around, you don't care, you're not scared to be seen.
Yeah, I guess like dreaming has no currency, but then
exactly
all of a sudden it does.
Exactly. Like, if somebody says, if I go, oh, I'm so proud of the song, I really like the song, and people go, how many shares did it get? Or, I go, what a pointless question. That's got no, how is that relevant to what I've just said? And I think that's what our, I don't know how old you are, but at least me, I feel like our generation is kind of a lot of been like, you do you be a movie star, you be a pop star, you be a great songwriter, whatever. And it's, but actually that's great, but it's secondary to being a person,
Yeah, definitely. And I think especially now, it's hard to, when there's not a lot of money on the table in terms of like gigs and festivals, it's like, how can I detach my needing my art to like fulfill an expectation rather than just exist as art, I guess.
Exactly. And I think it's, when people talk about this stuff as content, it's what's your content? You need more content. It's like, hey, I wrote a song that really meant something to me. That's what it is. If it's consumed, as they say, great. But I think that's very much what I'm trying to do now. I mean, that's what the show and everything is about. It's just being like a bit more vulnerable, meeting people, just doing what I do because that's what I do, without much more to it than that.
Yeah. It's beautiful though, and I think that like at the end of the day, that's what offers us so much connection with each other, like songs and stories, and just art, movies, plays, poetry.
It's the best.
It's what we like fall back on.
It's the best. And also it's kind of like, if we are following this life, why should it be so heavy? It's like we actually start out following it because it's the most beautiful thing that we've experienced. It moves us so much, art and stories and all these things. So so we gotta recapture that. I say we, I mean me. You're super zen over there with you, I'm sure.
It's taken a lot of, it depends on the day.
But you are great, and it's been a pleasure having you.
So nice meeting with you, chatting with you, hearing you play. Congratulations on your release this Friday.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to listening to your song over and over again. And let's stay in touch. I'd like to stay in touch.
Yes, sounds good.
But cool. Well, thank you very much for joining. Bye.
Bye.